Humans are always trying to uncover the deepest and darkest secrets of nature. A team of researchers dug a deep hole in the ground, but they did not know they were opening the door to hell. Major invites Anna to explore and unleash the secrets hidden inside. But what she sees, she wishes she had never seen. The lead scientist of the project, MX-23, Anna, uses her colleague as the test subject to try her newly discovered vaccine. But as the vaccine was never tried on animals, it failed on the human subject. Her colleague Maxim dies and Anna writes a report about her failure, taking full responsibility and requesting to shut down the experiment. But Major advises her to think rationally and take this death as a sacrifice, as this loss will lead them to a big discovery one day. A few days later, Anna celebrates New Year with her family when she receives a call from Major. She is truly surprised at how he reached her, but she straight away talks business. They have a secret research station called Kola Super Deep, which looks like a hole from the outside, but researchers recorded strange sounds from that 12-kilometer deep hole. Soon after that incident, 20 people went missing from that research station. Anna assumes that Major is calling her to aid them in resuming the operation to find the missing persons. But he only wants her to accompany his team of experts to collect samples from the super deep borehole. He wants her to join him en route to Murmansk in 2 hours. In return for her joining the operation, he will make her in charge of the Military Bio-Research Institute and give her credit for any discoveries. The helicopter takes them to the ice-covered location of the borehole. But as the chopper lands on the surface, walking dead people approach to attack with grenades. It breaks the window, and Anna gets minor injuries. Once she regains consciousness, she collects samples from the damaged tissues of the infected person, who was a scientist there. The rest of the team does not seem infected, but Anna insists on examining them anyway. One of the staff members shares the secret that people are not infected with any disease. They are lying and hiding the truth. He advises her to return home if she can. Major takes Anna along, and they meet Peter, another scientist who claimed to work with the head scientist, Grigoriev. Grigoriev joins them in the car that would lead them to the Kola Superdeep. He knows that Anna is greedy to get the credit for a discovery, which is why she is going to the super deep hole, but he warns her that it's a cheap shot. He locked all his research fellows down there for a reason and advises them to refrain from going there. He even offered to provide all the samples and has changed the codes to the elevator. But Major is adamant to see what he is hiding 12 kilometers deep. At the entry gate of the Super Deep, Grigoriev shares that they will initially stop at the residential module, which is 6 kilometers deep. Afterward, they will go to the research module, which is actually located at 12 kilometers depth. Peter's first attempt to try the code to start the elevator fails, and when Dr. Grigoriev enters it the second time, he fails too, as he is so uncomfortable when an officer is holding a gun at his body. But he enters the correct code the third time, and the elevator starts going down. Anna feels unusually cold, which Peter tells her is due to the layer of permafrost inside the hole. Suddenly, Grigoriev shouts that the reverse brakes of the elevator have failed. The elevator is in free fall. He puts a mask on his face while, in the absence of any protective measure, the rest of the people get unconscious. The elevator stops at 6 kilometers depth, and it turns out that Grigoriev played a trick to steal the key from them. He gets out of the elevator while Anna regains her consciousness a while later. Grigoriev knew there is another elevator that will take them to the research facility, and he escaped with the key that is necessary to activate it. Anna and her team start looking for the facility when they see a man and woman sitting in the room claim that they are the last shift. They are still waiting for someone to come and rescue them. They have no idea where Grigoriev is. The girl is a researcher named Kira, and the boy is an engineer, Nikolai. Nikolai feels uncomfortable the way Igorov looks at him, and they get rough with him. Anna wants to examine both of them before accepting their assistance to examine the whole facility. Both are uninfected, and Anna tells Major that there is no sample in the whole area. Major wants her to do her job while he will control the rest and walks away. Suddenly, Grigoriev appears in the elevator to warn her to return to the surface, as he will never give her the key to the shaft. Anna shouts that she found Grigoriev, and soldiers open fire at him. But he shuts the elevator and goes down. Major wants Nikolai to stop the elevator, But he informs that once anyone starts the elevator, no one can stop it until it goes all the way down. Igorov wants Anna to stay close as he wants her to be safe. They come across a door with mysterious Latin writings on it that there is the devil inside. Igorov asks his soldiers to suit up and enter the door. Suddenly, the main gate closes automatically, which means that the gate from the outside is about to open. The door opens and a girl walks from the other side. She was a lab assistant in Sahara Lab, even though the heat inside exceeds 200 degrees, but she came out without any protective suit. She apparently looks normal, but after a few minutes, her body starts burning. Anna uncovers Olga's back. Its muscles are exposed, and she had mold grown over it. Anna takes the sample and notices that mold is growing at the fastest rate. On the other hand, the soldiers inside the outer door report about the place being dark and hazy. Anna examines the samples from Olga's body under a microscope and shares that her body is infected with a highly virulent form of mold. While Igorov asks his soldiers to keep moving ahead and inform them every 10 minutes. Anna senses the danger, but she tells Major that she is still unaware of the type of mold. Major tells them to pack the girl. Anna and Kira look at Olga's situation getting worse. Anna tells Kira to stay with her while she goes outside to get some help in packing her. She never intends to return to Kira. After a while, Kira sees Olga's hands twitching, and she breaks the glass separating her room with Kira's room. While Grigoriev finds that a few men are approaching to get the key of the shaft and tells them that he is going to blast the whole facility to destroy the shaft. He breaks the pressure pump with a blast, which means the whole facility will be destroyed in an hour. Igorov wants to call back his men at every cost, but Nikolai humiliates him that a 60-year-old man has caught them in huge trouble. They get in a fight with each other, but Major interrupts and tells him that no one will go down to save the boys. Before going back up, Anna wants to collect the samples from infected Olga, and Igorov takes her there. Igorov liked Anna and wished they had met in a different situation. They open the door and the whole infirmary is filled with mold. Igorov calls for help immediately, but as Anna collects the sample, Igorov offers to help and sees that Olga is still alive, looking at them with one open eye. Major tells her to collect the sample anyway, but a bubble blasts from Olga's body and fumes fall on Igorov's face. Anna grabs her mask and looks at Kira standing behind her. She tries to tell her that her nervous system has become dysfunctional, but suddenly the fungus grows from her body and bends it in a weird way. Anna runs to save her life and thinks she is falling inside the deep hole. She regains her consciousness and bangs the door to open with a disinfectant. Nikolai disinfects her dress completely, and she shows all the samples collected from the infirmary so far. Later, she examines Igorov, who is badly infected. Peter shares that the fungus pushes the ants to nest, which releases spores, hence it spreads everywhere. Igorov wants to save everyone as he knows that he can't get out of here after getting infected. Later, Anna takes Major to talk privately and tells that they can save any infected person with the permafrost as it destroys the parasite from going inside the host. She wants to invite a medical team to stabilize Igorov, but Major tells there is no one who will come to help. But they will prepare Igorov to take him to Moscow as a live sample. She refuses to help him as taking him up means spreading the infection indefinitely, but Major tells her that his decision is final. Anna and Major prepare Igorov to go up, but suddenly he hears from the men down there that they are terrified of something. Igorov wants to stay and save them, and they open the outside door. It's dark and mysterious inside while they keep moving. Igorov's situation is getting worse as they hear the sound of gunshots from the other side of the door. One of the men returns and falls unconscious. He is alive, but then another one returns with a chopped arm. He slits his throat instead of entering the shaft and dies. The unconscious man wakes up and tells them that something attacked them inside that area. Suddenly, a strong thud on the door terrifies them, and they start running to find a safe place. They enter the elevator, but to initiate it, they still need a keycard. Engineer Nikolai concentrates to find another way to start it, and Igorov wants to stay back. He screams with pain, and in the meanwhile, Nikolai finds a way to start the elevator. Anna leaves Igorov with a heavy heart. The elevator rapidly drops down, and its emergency brakes fail. Somehow, Anna reaches the brakes and drops the switch. The elevator safely stops 12 kilometers deep. The lab has a covering of frost and its temperature is around -15. They have no samples, but the tape recording plays Grigoriev's voice, saying that the frost can only control the mold to a limit. It will eventually break out. In a special red light, they see that the walls have bodies of the people attached. The only way to get out of the station is the key, for which someone has to go outside in 200-degree temperature. Major stops Anna and volunteers to go outside. He knows that as a scientist, the world needs Anna more. He tells her to wait for him for 5 minutes, as a human can only survive 5 minutes in that heat. 5 minutes pass quickly, and he does not return. By now, Anna knows that Dr. Grigoriev was right, and whatever happened here must remain a secret. Nikolai agrees to that, but Peter sounds so mysterious. Now Anna can't wait any longer and silently fetches the mask. She shuts the door behind and does not stop despite Nikolai and Peter stopping her. She runs in the burning heat and finds Major dead in the way with keys in his hands. She hardly finds her way back to the room with burns on her face, and the fungus is growing at a super fast speed, confirming Dr. Grigoriev's fear that it will someday take over the world. She enters the room and Peter demands the key from them at gunpoint. He shoots a bullet in Nikolai's leg and gets the key. He is going crazy to find what Grigoriev is hiding here, as it can make him a great scientist. He is getting mad for fame and grandeur, so he wants to take the secret with him before leaving this place. They go up to the 6-kilometer depth while Nikolai sits down with a painful leg. Peter orders him to go and check the place, but Anna volunteers to check the place. Suddenly, she gets down to grab the gun for self-defense, but Peter finds it and stops her. At the same moment, a man converted into mold attacks them. Anna runs away and hides in a room. Everybody has turned into mold while Anna hides herself in a storeroom. She pours some cold water over her body as it stops the mold growth and comes outside silently. Anna passes from underneath the mold-infected bodies with a safety knife in her hand and reaches Nikolai. Anna and Nikolai start moving towards the elevator, but at the same time a blast smashes the walls and a huge mold-infected man comes out attacking them. Anna finds herself surrounded by them from all sides and screams with fear, but at the same time Nikolai grabs her arm and brings her to the elevator. They are about to close the door, but a mold man inserts the pointed hand to infect Anna. Nikolai luckily closes the door and saves her, but at the same time someone calls Anna. She turns and sees Igorov completely turned into mold. It's so painful to see him like this, but he asks for her help. She uncovers his chest and sees the beating heart. Knowing that taking a mold on the Earth's surface will destroy everything, she stops the elevator. But Nikolai pushes her apart as he wants to save his life at all costs. She tries to convince him to crush the elevator, but Nikolai grabs her neck to suffocate. At the same time, Igorov inserts his pointed claws in Nikolai's neck, and he dies. Anna cries knowing that she has to crush the elevator with Igorov in it. By the time she can feel the burning inside her body, and she exposes her body to the lower temperature to stop the mold growth. But her body starts burning, and she falls trying to reach the handle that would crush the elevator. She enters the incorrect sequence once and falls down. To crush the elevator, 3 incorrect sequences are needed. Anna gets up once again and completes the rest 2 attempts with a failing body. By the time the elevator is about to self-destruct, it reaches the surface, someone takes her out of the elevator, and it destroys in the same moment. They take her in the van, but she knows that she is infected too. Anna steals a grenade and asks them to stop the van. She gets out of the van, pulls the pin of the grenade, and kills herself.